Two governors go back and forth and accuse each other of misgovernance, and this is happening in Abia State. Former Governor of Abia State, Senator Theodore Orji, has fired back as its successor in office, and the immediate past governor of the state, Dr. Okezie Ikpeazu, telling him to carry his cross and stop making careless statements about others. Senator Orji, popularly known as Ochendo Global, was reacting to a media comment credited to Ikpeazu, where the latter described elected leaders who criticized their predecessors in office as lazy leaders. Ikpeazu, who spoke at an event in Abuja, was also reported to have said that in 2015, when he took over, he met the state in a gloomy state. But in a swift response, Senator Orji chided Ikpeazu for saying he met Abia in a gloomy state. Senator Orji, who spoke through his former liaison officer and senior aide, Honorable Ifeanyi Umere, faulted Ikpeazu for, in one breath, condemning leaders who criticize their predecessors, and in the other breath, criticizing his own predecessor. The former governor told his successor to take responsibility for his actions and inactions while in office instead of shifting blame to anybody. He said, Ikpeazu once again should carry his cross and take responsibility for his actions and inactions instead of looking for who to blame, as governance is not necessarily about making speeches. All right. What do you have to say to this? Remember, we are talking of Abia State.
A portion of a religious book, a sacred book, says Jesus wept. So also Emi Feraga wept.
Why are you weeping?
And Emi Feraga is weeping.
Why are you weeping?
I'm weeping and crying seriously for my nation.
Mm.
Crying because the Abia situation depicts a situation of moral decadence, where people no longer have shame, where failure is celebrated above success, where failure is utilized and promoted above performance, where looting has become an acceptable norm, and you flaunt the wealth and people celebrate you and even epitomize you. That is what the Abba situation has depicted. When Orji was a governor, I remember that we went to do something in Abia, around Umaya. When we got there, the vehicle we were traveling on said he cannot go further. So you have to stop.
When Orji Okalo was the governor. Go ahead.
This Orji, no Uzoka, this Orji
Theodore Orji. They call him T.A. Orji.
Theodore Orji.
T.A. Orji, yes, go ahead.
Was the governor.
Mm-hmm.
The driver say he can't drive. He's better himself is ready to trek. Let's park the vehicle. He can't drive. So we look at, so what do we do? He said, well, let's find a solution. Either we trek or we look for keke. Let's park the vehicle here. We believe it will be safer. We speak to one or two persons. Let's go where we are going. If it is to trek, let's trek. We'll come back. Why? The potholes were so much. You go, the vehicle is a pregnant woman will just lose the baby. Mm. So we have to buy the idea of the driver. We parked. We spoke to some people around there. They allowed us to park the car in their compound. We trekked a little. We said we can't continue to trek. Where we're going is far. Why don't we take a car? So we took a tricycle. Before we rode about 1 meter or thereabout, all of us, we started, stop. We use our legged this best. Because we were like, the tricycle is going to, tumble somersault. Until we go one side, we will go like this. We became so afraid. I said, bros, how much is your money? We will pay you in full so that quarter will not come. How much do you charge us? Say this, take your money. Hey, you people should enter. The place is still far. We say, don't worry, we will trek. It's better we trek and be alive than to enter this and go there. The roads were bad. Death everywhere. Today he's speaking.
T.A. Orji.
T.A. Orji is speaking. Mm-hmm. I also had the same experience during Ikpeazu, who constructed one overhead bridge for years.
With blocks.
with billions of naira. Both of them were not even, in fact, they are not even ashamed that they govern Abia State on a rented apartment. They are not ashamed.
They were governors. They
were governors in a rented apartment. That the government house was in rented apartment. They were governing Abia State with billions upon billions of naira in a rented apartment. They have a landlord who would have chased them out. Ask them to leave, and Abia State government house would be on the news that they have chased Governor packing. They are not ashamed. They are coming here to, my glorious, glittering, bad road glittering, rented apartment government house glittering. They are not ashamed. And this thing, we also experience in other parts of Nigeria. There are some places you go to today, despite the billions and billions of naira, particularly in the South, from oil revenue, from derivative refunds,
10%
derivative refunds, royalty, and the rest of them. There are people who should pull on certain stream, and people who go there and fetch on that stream, boy, and drink. That is where they used to bathe and wash their plate and all that. They fetch from there and cook, despite the billions. And when the leaders there will come and tell you today, hey, I did this, and when people will say, yeah, our man is speaking. It's a shame. It's good that Oti is disgracing both of them. Unless Oti is currently disgracing both of them. I remember a cartoon that was drawn in Edo State there, where Lucky Benendio, with his deputy, I won't mention him, they were traveling to a part of Edo State where they met a very bad spot. Water flooded everywhere in mud. They have to enter. According to the cartoon, that the governor, they have to climb one of the seats and touch the deputy. This road is bad, though. Are you see? This road really bad. Edo people. What is this? The governor. This road is really bad. Are you seeing your state? Imagine. And they were okay with it. They left and the road was never worked on. It's the same thing these people are doing. And Abia people will also clap for them. And when they were governors, they say Abia people were telling you that some people were the problem of Abia State.
No, Abia, well, with that, I will speak for Abia State. In this instance, I will speak for Abia State because I happen to be an Aba.
Be clear. No, you happen to be a native.
Aba brought up, actually. I most of my life has been there. Abia people have never, at any point in time, applauded these governors. I will tell you for free. Now, when Orji,
there are people who supported
when Orji, of course, there
are people who supported Ikpeazu. These are the people I'm talking about. I'm not saying all Abia people.
Hold on. You will trace this way back to Senator Orji Okalo, whom most go to the mother's house in the morning to peel egusi. Anybody that is in Abia State or anybody that understands Abia State, has been Abia State, the moment I mention egusi, the governor whose mother people go in the morning.
I'm aware of the situation.
For you to get favor, you have to peel that egusi. I mean, people peel egusi for you.
Go there to serve the mother.
Then it is what it is.
The queen
at
mother.
That point, and then much later, the economy started dwindling, because recall that Aba then was the hub of not death. Aba was the hub of productivity when it comes to Abia State.
I know for sure. I know that. Yes.
Hub of productivity.
I know.
I have done business.
I know that.
Shoe parts business.
Yes, I know that.
Bags. They even. It's a lot that they do.
I know that.
Right down to clothes, making of ready-made clothes. Whatever that cannot be replicated. Aba then was called the China of Africa.
Of Africa, yes.
That was what Aba was called. And there were a lot of businesses, a lot of transitions up and down. Yes. But the business at some point, Aba started dying economically because there was no road.
No access road.
There was no access road to get to Aba. When Senator Orji Okalo, when he was the governor, built a road in his village that he did not finish, and as I speak to you,
the road is still
his own village. The road is not good. Like when you go through Senator Orji Okalu's village, you will know that this road was anything below substandard. That's the road you will see there. Now I am saying it on air. This is verifiable because I drove through that road last year.
What class construction?
Now moving forward, T.A. Orji took over from Orji Okalu, and it was a decline from what it was progressively worse. I think governance in Abia State was progressively worse. And as at the time T.A. Orji was the governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu was the head of the Abia State Waste Management Board at that time. And when Okezie Ikpeazu was the head of the Waste Management Board in Abia State, Abia State was the dirtiest in the entire country. When Okezie Ikpeazu had that position during the tenure of T.A. Orji, T.A. Orji found him worthy to become the governor. Okezie Ikpeazu now became the governor, and
worthy to continue that
was the benediction. I'm using the word benediction as sarcasm, by the way. That was the benediction on Abia State, and I think that led to the climax, you know, where Abia people was like, we won't take this anymore. In fact, businesses died. There was no road. Abia State, and they quote me anywhere, Abia State is a state that was developed by the people.
Yes.
So now it's a situation where you come into streets and people contribute money. Tenants and landlords contribute money to tar their streets.
To try to fill potholes.
Yes,
and the rest
fill the potholes, tar their streets. Tenants and landlords contribute money to local vigilantes started from Abia State. Recall when the Bakassi issue started, and there was a lot of killings, kidnappings. People that come from Lagos and different places to come and buy products were kidnapped. And at some point, the Bakassi people, Bakassi actually it's a section, a market in Aba where they sell and produce shoe parts. So the apprentices and those boys and men that were into shoe parts, the apprenticeship thing was very rife. It's still there, where one man will have over 20 people, boys working for him, and they learn from, and over the years he settles them. So they now galvanized and took up the security to ensure that they secure their business by fighting those kidnappers. But there was a government. That was what led rise to Bakassi in Abia State, and then other states started copying it. I can give you the history of Abia State.
So they worked well.
So now when you now come down and these governors are now saying, why are you accusing your predecessor? Even the so-called person that is accusing, both the accuser and the accused, how innocent are they? Just like you said, OT to a large extent has, and then you mentioned the flyover. You should ask yourself a question. I mean, people should ask T.A. Orji, Okezie Ikpeazu a question. Why is it that Aba people are scared to drive on top of that flyover?
He told you now.
Everybody goes down, and
he told you.
Because the flyover, I remember driving through it once. I saw blocks. How do you build a flyover with blocks? You understand?
How many people have cars that they want to drive?
And a lot of statements that were made by the governor, even when concerns were raised with respect to the safety of that flyover, and it was commissioned.
Yes.
And it was commissioned, and up until now, Abia people would rather drive under.
In
fact, when you're driving from East-West Road, the moment you enter into Aba Expressway, that is the most confused expressway on planet Earth. That expressway is one way from beginning to end. So if you're going this way, you can go this way. You can, in the middle of express, where someone will be driving at 100, you see a sharp U-turn. Like, you see a sharp, you don't get it. Now, you can move from, the entire 4 lanes are all one way. The entire 4 lanes are on one way, on high speed, So it's a lot. And it was done by, Okezie Ikpeazu.
They are there rating themselves.
Who when he was the head of when he was heading the Abia State Management Board. Abia State was the dirtiest in ranking. And then when he became the governor, I mean,
it will continue for where he stopped.
No, there was no need saying Abia State is the dirtiest state in Nigeria. I think we should have been categorized as the dirtiest state in Africa at that point in time when Okezie Ikpeazu became the governor of Abia State. I mean, these are verifiable information. One would say, with the little Oti is doing, he's getting a lot of praise because, I mean, these are people that have been in darkness for over time. This is a situation whereby one-eye man has become a king in the land of the blind. It's a situation whereby the Abia people are now begging.
And now seeing that actually governor can or government of a state can build a road.
Actually.
They are now saying that so government of a state can construct a school. Unlike before. So one man eye is now the king in the community of the blind.
Exactly.
Oti should continue to disgrace them, while two of them will continue to talk about the glittering Abia State they met and left for themselves.
I know Jesus Okalo has carefully not responded to this particular comment. Did you notice that he did not even respond to this comment? Because he knows that
yourself out.
Probably his book of remembrance will be opened. His book of remembrance will be opened.
He might even call them behind. This thing you people are doing, don't put my name.